Amongst all of the known Osu players that are still active to this day, many stand out for their outrageous performances, unique skill sets, and so on. Leaderboards, unfortunately, do not take in consideration unique scores using mods that we don't see often on a leaderboard, such as Easy, Flashlight, Sudden Death, or Perfect. Hence, this is why some players are still not getting the recognition that they deserve. Their scores don't give as much PP as the top players do, yet they are as impressive and in some occasions completely mesmerizes anybody who watches. And even though these scores are not praised enough, one particular player brought the Easy and Flashlight scene on the stage, GN. GN began making history when he started in the June of 2011. His playstyle was very humble. He started out using various cheap mice and a laptop until he got his first tablet during early 2012, which was an Apex tablet. Not the best brand for high-level Osu gameplay at all. GN's first significant choice in playstyle would occur whenever he would learn Flashlight at a very early stage in his career, with a secondary emphasis on mechanics. However, he would need to upgrade to a CTL 470, a much more popular tablet in the fall of 2012, because he was unable to do the jumps on the map, Can't Defeat Airman, by Blue Dragon or Miss Magius, because as he states, his cursor stopped because the pen could not handle fast movements. In 2012, he would meet Milhor F, a prominent legend in the reading community on smwcentral.net, a ROM hacking website associated with SNES emulation. And on that fateful day, GN would truly begin writing Osu history when Milhor introduced him to the Easy mod. When you select the beat map in Osu, you can also choose what mods you want, each of them modifying the gameplay. Hidden will hide the approach circles, Hard Rock will lower the circle size while increasing overall difficulty and health drainage. Double Time will increase the map speed by 150%, etc. But there are also mods like No Fail and Halftime, which are pretty self-explanatory. There was another mod called Easy. You would think that a mod called Easy would make the game easier, since it's pretty much the exact opposite of Hard Rock, making the circles bigger, the overall difficulty easier, and being able to have literally 3 lives. Why would anybody ever think that Easy would be so impressive, you may ask? Well, if we undergo a deeper analysis into the Easy mod itself, you'll be able to tell why. If you put Easy on, let's say, a 2 or 3 star map, the difficulty won't really change that much, since the map settings are already pretty low by default. But let's say you put Easy on something like a little more difficult, like Time Freeze. It causes a huge spike in the map settings, turning AR10 into AR5, and OD 9.4 into OD 4.7. A thing worth mentioning though for OD is that yes, on some maps, it makes the map much easier. But when we're talking about Easy, in some cases, a lower overall difficulty actually makes the map harder to hit, making Easy exponentially more hard to play. Approach rate suffers the most though, since the density of objects gets really high. This makes it hard to read. However, players can offset some of this difficulty through memorizing these patterns. Now, I didn't explain everything there is to know about Easy, but for the sake of this video, it will suffice. In the time of 2011 and 2012, nobody really specialized in Easy mod. However, some very impressive scores were still managed to be set. Val0108, known for his distinct 0108 mapping style, was able to FC Cerno's perfect math class, Tag 4, with Easy back in 2011. This map had extremely weird angles and timings that were unseen in mapping, all due to one reason: Tag 4. Tag 4 maps were designed to be played with 4 players, using the tag team co-op option seen in multiplayer. Since regular maps didn't exactly translate to this style of play, Tag 4 maps were invented, but the mappers of Tag 4 didn't expect just one player to be able to play their map, let alone FC it with Easy. In 2012, Milhor F, who GN met in 2011, was known as the star player of Easy back then, full comboing famous reading maps today, like Chocobo and Shotgun Symphony. And even though Milhor F didn't focus on traditional methods of play, like aim or mechanics, it didn't even matter. And now that we know where GN's inspiration to play Osu came from, he would begin to discover the world of Easy. Since GN's playstyle was focused a lot on Flashlight, which required memory, Easy was right up GN's alley, and throughout 2012 and most of 2013, he would continue to grind out his skill, being an all-round player while focusing on Easy and mechanics, and all of his practice yielded some results in late 2013, with a Flashlight FC on Breakthrough Atmosphere, and at the time, the #1 Easy hidden score on Utage Tag 4. During this time, one of GN's main focuses was on local competition, specifically the Norwegian/Scandinavian community. And since he had a lot of close friends there, it gave him a lot of motivation to also work on his mechanics, so that he could keep up with everybody else. Eventually, He was able to stream 200 BPM very comfortably, and more results came in as he became the third best player in Norway on OSU TP. Now you may be asking, what is OSU TP? Well, before PPV2 came out, which is the PP system that we use today, players in 2014 had their own version of performance, and although it wasn't hosted on the Bancho servers, how GN sums it up is that each skill was weighted individually. For example, speed, aim, and accuracy were skills that TP measured, and GN was the top speed player of Norway at the time, all thanks to his mechanics that he had been building up for 2 years now. And now that GN was dominating in the local department, in the summer of 2014, he noticed a player named Fujiwara Nomoku had a decent score on Nico Mega Mix with halftime that had several misses but had a good amount of aim TP. So GN decided to try it too and managed to beat Fujiwara's score with less misses, awarding him 330 PP. And in early December, he would redo it for 448 PP, just showing the massive potential of Tag 4 maps. And then, he got an FC on Night of Nights Easy Tag 4 to end the year off, awarding him another 300 PP. Back then, 300 PP was enough to make you a top player, and using Easy was just as unique and impressive back then as it is today. And now, it was the golden year of Osu, 2015, and his reading got even better, with a Don't Say Lazy Tag 4 Easy FC for 361, a Barusa Tag 4 Easy 6 misplay that got him 473 PP, which at the time was in the top 10 highest PP scores of all time, placing GN at the top 100 of PPV2, and even the first Easy FC on Cries Under. Unfortunately, his climb using Tag 4 maps was cut short, as all Tag 4 maps became unranked. After this, GN would conform a little more to the meta and learn Hidden Hard Rock. He was able to set good scores on top stream maps like Maxcore, Nega Strife, Chipscape, and II, showing off the result of his mechanic grind and the versatility of his skill sets. Some more scores he got in 2015 was a re-FC of Night of Nights with Easy Hidden, a #1 score on Utage Tag 4 with no mod, a meme FC, and some various #1 4 mod maps. And with the combination of mechanics grind and Tag 4 endeavors, GN placed number 18 in the top 20 OSU players of 2015. And now for GN, in 2016, he would emphasize Easy a lot more, and would start showing just how impressive it was by full comboing both of the hardest stream maps at the time that were ranked. The first FCs on Blue Zenith and Freedom Dive with Easy. Then, in Gotta Aim Fast, which is a top player tournament, in the tiebreaker of the grand finals, he got a 2.4k combo on Uta with Easy. Also with Easy, GN was able to beat players that use no mod, and keep in mind that Easy cut your score in half, and that he was the only one in the match who used Easy. And to keep up with the insanity, he winded up FCing Uta a week later with Easy. And so, he would set a goal for himself that would change the course of Osu history forever, and would cement him as an absolute legend. And what was that goal, you may ask? Well, to get rank 1 on every single Tag 4 map all at once. The amount of memorization, reading, and aim skill required to be the best at these maps was almost impossible for anybody else. Only one man could dream of completing all of the Tag 4 maps, and GN was the one who could fulfill the prophecy. In 2014, he got 2 #1s on Don't Say Lazy and Night of Nights, 3 #1s on a re-FC of Don't Say Lazy, Barusa of Mikosu, and UN Owen. Some other highly notable scores he set was an Easy Hidden FC on Cerno's Perfect Math class in early 2015, and then an SS with Easy in late 2015, and then, out of nowhere, rektygon, who was a legend in Osu Catch and a reading god in Osu Standard, had come back in 2016 and beat GN's Nico Mega Mix score with touchscreen. At this point, GN had to outclass someone who literally clicks the circles with their fingers and has pretty much infinite aim. GN could not possibly be a touchscreen player, but he did, in August of 2016, and after beating rektygon, in his 2-year adventure on the Tag 4 maps, there was just one final boss standing, a 2-year-old score by Raruchi on Cerno's Perfect Math class with no mod. Just one last #1, and GN would accomplish Osu history. Could he really do it? And with over 5,000 plays and countless hours of practice, he had finally done it. #1 on all Tag 4 maps consecutively at the same time on May 24th, 2016. This shot up GN's popularity at an all-time high, and finally, he could rest a little more easy. After this, GN played a little more casually, since his motivation to improve stopped after he completed the Tag 4 maps. He joined a couple tournaments, and got a couple more scores in 2016 that showed off his evolution of skills. The first qualified FC on Notch Hell, which showed his ability to adapt to new challenges. An Easy FC on Dopamine and the Big Black, which showed his unmatched ability for producing easy scores. And an Easy FC on Parasatellite, showing that his stream mechanics were still in shape. He also got a lot of historic plays without Easy too, like the first hidden FC on MFlow Loves Chemistry, Zigzag Hacker V3, a 5 miss on Ruchi's Exodus Earth Atomosphere with hidden, an AR5 hidden in Odd Loop. The list honestly just goes on and on forever for GN. And I think you guys get the point that he's insane. GN's main playstyle of playing reading maps would continue all the way until late 2017, and around December is when he would start changing his playstyle up just a little bit. It was a mod that was aligned with his reading ability, and one that he had put a lot of work to in the early stages of his career. And the mod that he decided to continue making history with was Flashlight. The first notable Flashlight score he did was an FC on Emerald Sword with Flashlight, being only number 2, because Masita's 6-year score was done with hidden Flashlight. Emerald Sword is a popular old reading map with super tricky patterns that you have to snap to, and when you add Flashlight, it makes for a very impressive play. 2 months later, GN would polish his reading a little bit more by FCing Bonsi's extra difficulty of Polygon with Easy. 2 days later, he FC'd a very popular reading map at the time, Noah's version of Odd Loop. The patterns in Odd Loop require a fair amount of memorization and practice, since the patterns aren't linear, meaning that you won't be able to sight read it. Once again, the fact that GN added Flashlight to the mix just shows how insane GN really is. A month later in April 2018, he would FC yet another popular reading map with DT and Flashlight. And the reaction to his FC just shows how much dedication he puts into Osu.
I got it. Yes! Yes!
Then, in July, he returned to Cerno's Perfect Math class with an easy Flashlight FC, and then banned forever with Flashlight. So over time, GN was uncontested on the maps that he played Flashlight on, and it was time that he tried something a little more revolutionary. So fast forward to around April 2019, and GN set a 674 PP play on the Osu stream compilation with Flashlight. Now I can't even get started to how impressive this play was. The fact that it's a 12-minute map with Flashlight. The only other people on the leaderboard at the time was an FC from Marucci in 2012, and chokes from names like HFIC225, Toy, and Lane. And with this reaction, you could just tell that this might have been his best Flashlight play he's ever set.
Yes! 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 It's over. It is over. Finally. I fucking got it.
And of course, GN's easy ability in 2018 to 2019 was in full throttle, with an FC on Exodus Earth Atomosphere with Easy, FCing the last part of Mestrada's Quaver with Easy, and some other random various things. And another cool Flashlight score on Rainbow Tylenol, and oh yeah, he became the champion of champions when he got the first FC on Shotgun Symphony. And now, for GN's Flashlight adventures, in the late of 2019, he had a goal that was similar to the caliber of becoming number 1 on every Tag 4 map. It was a map that was going to push the limits of memorization and Flashlight, and advance Osu into a new era that wasn't even thought that was possible. And that map, you may be asking, is Notch Hell by Hollow Wings. Notch Hell was the first ranked map of its kind, with its main difficulty coming from the increased slider velocity patterns. And towards the end of the map, it becomes incredibly tricky to follow these sliders, testing the limits of even the most skilled reading players. GN was the first to FC it though when it got qualified, all the way back in 2016. Then, a couple of days later, once it got ranked, he FC'd it with Hidden and only dropped 3 slider ends. Then, in 2017, he FC'd it with Hidden and Sudden Death, this time dropping no slider ends. And now that GN was familiar with Notch Hell, attempts with Flashlight were slowly being made. He made some practice difficulties in 2019, and grinded out each hard part over and over until it became second nature. He would livestream his attempts on his Twitch channel, and many tuned in to watch Osu history take place right in front of their own eyes. Could GN FC Notch Hell with Flashlight before 2020? Well, on December 23rd, he was hitting all of the sliders and got past the hard part, and all that was left was to close the map out with a couple of notes left.
Let's do this. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. I don't care. Ja! Ja! Fy fan!
And even though his slider broke at the ending, GN didn't care. He had basically FC'd the map. It beat the previous number 1 score by over 1,000,000 points, and by getting past all of the hard parts of Flashlight, it was good enough for him. This play truly showed all of the skill that GN had built up over the 7 years of his OSU career. And with the cherry on top, once the play was done, Christmas had just begun. And I would say that was a pretty nice Christmas present for GN. And Twitch chat agreed as well. 2019 came to a close, and GN told me that he had a couple more goals for 2020. He was planning to FC the Unforgiving with Flashlight, and was having some good progress on it too, but GN said that he became sick for a while and had to quit because of demotivation. The two other main goals are Graces of Heaven Nomad FC and XNOR Halftime FC. And so now that the main covering of the history was summed up, I asked him some more questions relating to his mindset about OSU. The first was, do you think grinding a map and memorizing it is a big part in improving your reading skill in OSU? And he said, the mentality of grinding out a map is super beneficial to reading. It's taught him how to grind efficiently, deal with mistakes, and mind blocks. The main part to success, though, was the early era of his career, where he wanted to play everything, and this is what boosted his reading. I asked him, is being versatile essential to reading? And his opinion was that if you want to get good at something, you have to practice that, because other things will not help you focus on that one skill. Focused practice is the best way to go, but first, you gotta develop the fundamentals first to become one of the best. Also, it's notable that he said that his method of improving is recommended, but it requires a lot of dedication and work to develop a reading level of his skill. And to end off the questions toward mindset, I asked him one last question. Do you think you are the best reading player in OSU? Nah, but certainly most accomplished. And there's one thing for sure though, and that is that GN has undoubtedly been a huge influence in displaying how impressive Easy is in OSU, and the reason why it's so popular to this day. And that is the history of GN, the most accomplished Easy player in OSU. If you guys want to vote on the next video that you want to see next, then go subscribe to see the community polls that actually show me what to make next. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like too, it's free. Thanks so much for watching, and for me, it's Christmas time, so Merry Christmas too. See you guys in the next one, and have a nice day. Goodbye.